Okay, so let's start with stating your name and the year you were born.
Okay, my name is Barbara Stafford, and I was born 1939.
All right,
in November.
Great. Where did you grow up?
In Tuscaloosa County in Alabama. We had a farm, and we lived there in a log cabin.
Oh, that's
kind of
nice.
like Abraham Lincoln.
So you lived on a farm. Did you grow your food or anything like that?
Yeah, everything. We had everything we needed there. We had our own chickens, our own cows, and my dad slaughtered our own meat, pigs and things, and he raised everything, vegetables Mother canned all summer long from the garden, and she would put up hundreds of jars of things. And of course, we all had to help. Everybody had to work on a farm. There was no exceptions. So we had a good life. We were poor, but we didn't know we were poor because everybody around us was pretty much farmers, and they did the same thing. And my mom and dad would go to Tuscaloosa town, and they would go maybe every 6 months or every 3 months or something like that. And the things that they bought were coffee and flour and things of that sort that we couldn't raise. And everything else we had there. And we always had a smokehouse. I can remember going in there and slicing ham off of the, where it was in the smokehouse, and my dad just had a lot of it hanging there. And we were never hungry. We were never ever hungry there. And after I got grown and left home, I realized how fresh everything was and how good it was, and I missed it.
Yeah, I bet.
You can't get that in the grocery store now.
You said that you didn't have electricity?
Not until I was 12 years old. We didn't have any running water either. We had a spring that we went to, and there was a little creek-like branch that was down below the house, and we carried the water from there in water pails. And we had big barrels and things of that sort that would catch the rainwater. And Mother washed her clothes, and she boiled them in a wash pot, which is a big iron wash pot. And we built a fire around it, put the clothes in there, and boil them. And she had that lye soap that they made. And then she rubbed them on a rough board, and then we'd rinse them 3 times and hang them up. And of course, everything was starched back in the 50s, in the late 40s and 50s. And we had to iron all day long. It would be a day of ironing. Yeah. And I laughed at my mother one time. This is funny. She was mad at my father, and we were washing the clothes, and she took his undershorts, those boxer kind, and she threw them in the starch. And I thought she made a mistake, so I'm washing behind her. I took them out. I said, "Oh, Mom, you put Dad's shorts in here." And I rinsed them. She took them out of my hand. She says, "No, put them in there." She starched his shorts because she was mad at him. My poor dad. Go around with those starched his shorts on. I never will forget that. She said, "He deserves that." I don't know what Dad had done, but he had irritated his mother, and that's a bad thing to do.
When you got electricity, what kind of things did you get in your house once you did get electricity?
Oh, the first thing we got was a refrigerator. My mother insisted, and a wringer washing machine, because we had to rub the clothes on a rough board. And that was the first 2 appliances we got, was the washing machine with the old wringer on it. And my dad got my mother a refrigerator.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. And later we talked about into getting us a television, but that was a hard thing because we had the radio, and we always listened to Cincinnati and the Grand Ole Opry and all that. It was you could sit around. The fireplace in our house was as big as that picture window, and my dad would bring in a huge log and roll it in there, and we had a fire all winter long. Never let it go out. And we'd sit in front of the fire and listen to the radio on the weekends for entertainment. And that was so nice because the family was, talking to each other. It's better than watching television, I think, because you communicate with the family.
Yeah.
But it was a good life. It was hard. We had to work in the fields, and we picked cotton. My dad had we raised cotton, we raised corn, potatoes, sweet potatoes and the Idaho potatoes, and all kinds of vegetables. We had an orchard where we grew peaches and pears and things of that sort, plums, and Mother canned everything, and she made jellies and jams. Best kinds of all that.
I bet they were homemade,
yeah.
huh?
So.
Did you, you made a lot of things. Did you make clothes, or is that one of the things that you bought?
Yes.
Or?
No, Mother made our clothes. We would go and buy material,
Mm-hmm.
and you could get it for like 15, 20 cents a yard. And sometimes the feed sacks came with flowered print, you know, flour sacks and,
Mm-hmm.
and feed sacks for the different things, and we would save those. And she cut out dresses, and we had a Sears Roebuck catalog. My sister and I could go and pick a dress out in that catalog. My mother she was so good at drawing and cutting things, she'd cut those patterns out and make it, and it looked just like that dress.
Wow.
Yeah, my sister and I were really fortunate. Mother had a Singer sewing machine with a pedal, you know, the old type. Now it's got the pedal and the wheel on it.
How old were you when you started working?
I was 14.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of jobs did you have?
I worked on the curb when I was in school. My mother wouldn't let me work except in the summer. But I was a curb hop with all the little Clinton skirts and penny loafers and the bobby socks and the ponytail. Yeah, I worked on the curb at the South. It was a hamburger joint right outside of Tuscaloosa.
Mm-hmm.
And I just knew everybody, and it was so much fun. We wore red skirts and white blouses with the black penny loafers and white bobby socks, and most of the time your hair's in a ponytail, just keep it neat, you know.
Yeah.
But we got the orders and took them inside, and then we'd bring them out and hook them onto the cars, and we sold milkshakes and hamburgers and stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
What other kind of jobs did you have other than that?
Let's see. I've worked in garment factories and made a lot of different things, shirts and a different garment. I think about 3. I worked for 3 different garment factories, and we had one where we made mattress covers for the Army, and that was during the Vietnam War, and we did that. We built big things and have to have big closers that you run the machines to. But it was fun. And I worked in a training room. I've always been a trainer kind of, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I teach everybody how to use a sewing machine and then put them on the line and run that. So I did that. I raised some cattle. I had on the farm when my husband and I got married. I would get little baby calves from the dairies, and I went and bought a little Black Angus bull, and I put him in the pasture, and I'd get the Holsteins, the ones with the black and white spots, the big ones. I get those baby calves, and I took them. I finally got some Herefords and things like that, but I had almost 100 head when we decided to move and come to Florida.
Wow.
Yeah, but I loved it. The baby calves, I'd raise them on the bottom, and when I'd drive down the road in the pickup truck, they'd see me, and they'd run the whole length of the fence because they thought I was their mother. And they would just be crying. Come over here. But when they get so old, you can take them and put them on grass and put them in the pasture, and of course you feed them a little until they get up where they can be on their own.
Mm-hmm.
But that was really a fun job to do. Getting those baby calves and raising them.
That's so cute. When you moved to Florida, where did you live here? Was it a completely different environment from where you were living before?
No. Well, we came here and moved, of course, into a housing project. You know, it wasn't country anymore, but it was different. My husband went into construction when Seminole was being built, and there was just construction everywhere here. And he was a good carpenter, and he could do spray painting, and he worked on a dredge boat too once out there. He had a logging business in Alabama.
Wow.
Yeah, here's all of his family did. They were loggers, And that's what we were doing up there. But when we came down here, his sister's brother was in the Navy over in Jacksonville, and he married a girl from St. Pete, and it was kind of through family. And he was supervisor over some construction crew over there. And when they came back home, they were talking about it, and they wanted some people to come down. So he went with his brother-in-law, and we moved down here.
Oh, great.
Yeah, and worked. So but he worked in construction here for a long time.
That's nice.
Mhm. But we were up at Kansas City, and we lived in Seminole. And actually, every house we bought, we kept it. And we would buy one, and then we'd go buy another one, and we rented that one. So I wound up with about 5 houses doing it that way. I've been a landlord in St. Pete for about 25, 30 years. But after my husband died, I couldn't keep the maintenance up on good. So I sold them.
Okay. It's a nice little investment, though. What did you buy them for? Do you remember?
Yeah, the first one I paid $59,900 for it.
Wow.
And I bought one in Seminole, was $4,000 something. And I bought my neighbor's house next door for $2,800.
Wow.
Yeah, but my husband was good at repairing and fixing things, being, you know, in construction, and I would get fixer-uppers sometimes, and he would fix them.
Oh, great.
So, and then, you know, we just rented them, or we'd move into that one, and we'd move on to a better house, and then we'd rent that one.
So how many children do you have altogether?
4. I have 4 daughters, and I have 11 grandchildren, and I've got 9 great-grandchildren.
When you had kids, did you keep the tradition of making clothes, or?
I made all the girls' clothes from the time they were little up until they got to be teenagers, and they didn't want them anymore. So I had to give up to the blue jeans, you know, which I can't say anything. I wear them too. But they didn't want to wear the little frilly dresses. I wanted to make them, you know, with the bows in the back and little pinafores. And I made their little shorts and tops to match.
What was your first car?
A 1955 Chevrolet, and it was brown and white. Beautiful. We bought it at Ross Chevrolet. And
in Florida?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, we bought it there. That was the first one that we had some old junkers, but they were nothing, you know. Just that was my first real brand new car. And we love that car. I even see it now. It's a classic. They keep making them, you know. Some people keep them and they restore them and refurbish them. I just think they're so. I wish I would have kept mine. So,
how long did you keep yours for?
We kept it, I guess, 5 or 6 years, and then we bought we bought a 59 Impala Chevrolet with the fins on the back.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God, that would fly. You could just go along the road with that car. It was a beautiful car. Red interior with white outside. I thought that was pretty too.